Hey guys, this is Quinten. Kind of just want to get in front of you real quick, give you an update on Liquor Bee, let you guys know what we recently released and all of our new features. Maybe there's something that you want to learn more about and you want to reach out. That's kind of the point of this video, but also let you know what what we have on our to-do list that we are wanting to get out there in the next coming weeks. And I think the thing that separates us from most POS providers is that we actively listen, and then that we focus down into Mississippi liquor, and it allows us to really get specific on what we're doing and build you out features that help your store run the most efficiently in Mississippi. That said, going to be doing these at least once a month to kind of keep you guys more updated. I'm going to share. And I'll send out an email with bolded list of what we're about to cover. So if you don't want to watch this video, you can read it at your own time. That's cool too. So here's our July update. What's new, what's coming, what you should know. High level, we'll talk about all these. If any particular thing that that you're curious about and want to learn more, please reach out to me, Will, or Austin. Spoiler alert for those that don't know Austin yet, it's in an announcement to come. But anyway, what we've completed in July, the ability to schedule your price changes. So we have in the back end, we can do that for you, and we will be giving you a new tool that you can go in there and upload a CSV or an Excel file so you can schedule your price changes. The use case that we've ran into with a few stores is they do the SPA, they pass on the monthly SPA discounts. So they kind of prep that up. Whatever the discount is, they'll come up with their sale price, and then they'll set that begin end date, and then whenever that sale period is over, it goes back to that retail price. So that's a feature that is going to be available to you here soon. You can just communicate that to us right now over email, and we can schedule that for you. That's how we've been working. But soon that'll be available on our Liquor Bee site for you to schedule those out on your own. Of course, we'll show everybody how that works if that's something you want to learn about more. Another thing, because we've tackled some wholesale stores, they have to file a state import. I know there's a lot of people that are frustrated that they have to do all this, but they have to file this Excel report that is in a template from the state, and you got to give your permit number of the customer that you sold it to, the date you sold it to, and the item code, and how many. You got to report that to the state. So anyway, if you give us your customers, we can do the mappings, and then there'll be a report there that we can generate for you that just formats it in that specific, formatting that the state will require. That when you download that template from the state, it'll already be formatted to that with the data in there. And then you can just come through it to make sure everything looks great. There may be a mixer or something in there that you don't need to report. You can just omit that, but it's going to save you tons of time combing through everything. It just narrows it down. So if you want to learn more, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. Another thing we've added is the ability to do a customer price list. So again, you can communicate your customers that I want them to be configured at 10% above cost, these customers at 12%, so on and so forth. Right now, that's over an email. We will be building out some tool that you can go in there and set it and update it yourself. But basically, whenever you're checking out a customer and they are a specific customer that gets special pricing, when you add their customer to the order, there'll be a thing that flashes saying, hey, they get a special price. Usually a customer note saying that they're 10% above cost, and they see a different price, and you don't have to worry about discounting or anything like that. It's just running at 10% above cost or whatever you would like it to be configured at. So customer price list is something that we've introduced, and I think everyone, if it could save you time, please reach out. We'd love to get that set up. VAT pricing, for those that want to do specific pricing on the POs, when we stage the price, VAT stands for value after tax. If you are interested, or if you've always wanted to do your pricing that way, but you haven't had a system that allowed that, well, we have the capability now to do the VAT pricing. If you want your tax, basically the use case is if you want every price tag to end with a quarter or 50 or 75, or whole dollar, after the tax is added, plus your markup and margin is satisfied, that's what this is. So it's going to make sure that after that 7% sales tax, it's going to look pretty on the price tag. We've also, you've probably been, seeing us reach out to you, but we've just released this new update for July, and it's going to make the app perform a lot better. The speed will be quicker. Some stores have noticed that sometimes they get really busy and it slows down and sometimes crashes. We've addressed that with this update, so that's be on the lookout. We'll be getting you to get to our latest update here soon, and it's a game changer on the performance. Last but not least, and this is all no particular order, we for those of you running a specific version, I think the May and June build, we broke the 00 on the pay screen. So if you're running an April or March build, this may not have impacted you, but somewhere in May and June, you'd have to click it twice to actually get the 00 to work. So now that functionality is fixed. So if you get on our July update with the latest improvements, that'll get fixed as well. So you don't have to click that button twice. So those are the things that have been completed so far this month. And again, we just listen to y'all. So, keep giving us feedback. We want to continue to serve you and make sure that your liquor store is running the best that it can. What we got coming up, this is no particular order, but just want to run through the cost above button on checkout. So not just the cost, we have the customer price list like I mentioned before, but having a button that lets you change price and then input a percentage above cost. So, we've heard that multiple times, so we will continue to try to get that to you as quick as possible. The profit margin reporting using cost of goods sold rather than the current cost. This is, we've heard this from several stores. We have the data in the database. It's just getting that report out to you so you can kind of see a better snapshot of how your business is running. We're working on a new formula option in the shopping cart. More information to come. This may or may, you may want to continue using the 1, 2, 3 week forecasting, but we'll have another equation for you that maybe it'll help you run your business more efficiently and effectively than just the 1, 2 week and 3 week sales. We've also heard the need to be able to store the card on file. So we have somewhat halfway got that completed. The rest is just the PCI piece with the card readers, making sure that we are staying PCI compliant. So still a few things that we need to test out on that before we can get that set up. But some of your stores that want to, store the card on file, that's coming. So just bear with us. We just want to make sure we're testing and making sure everything's working well and we're staying in compliance. This has been a feature that we've heard of, and it's going to be great once we get it into our system, but integrating with Southern Beverage to stage our mixers. So everything that you order through the state currently gets staged. If you order your mixers through them, we are looking to also stage that as well. So if you order all your alcohol through the state and all your mixers through Southern Beverage, then everything that comes into your store is going to be staged on our automated purchase orders. So that's exciting, and maybe that's something you may want to switch to after we get that automated. Next on the list is we're going to do more how-to videos. We've created a YouTube channel. This video, of course, is on the YouTube channel, but we're going to be starting to try to do more and more how-to videos. We kind of just operate, you text us, we'll send you a video of what you need. But some stores have said, hey, if I got some how-to videos or just some documentation, I don't need to bug you. You guys are not bugging us, but we're going to do a better job getting some videos out there. On that similar token, I'm going to come back and try to do a quarterly check-in with everybody, just making sure if there's something that you need from me, any feedback that you would like, or if something's not getting done, or you want to learn about a new feature and how can I leverage that. Those are those points of the check-in, and it's informal. I just want to talk to you and touch base and make sure that we're serving you the best that we can. Another feature that we're going to get in, and this, you may or may not want this, but the ability to do your baseline markup or / margin on a bottle size level. So right now we kind of just do categories, wine and liquor, and the baseline is, let's say 30% markup and 35% markup on wine. So the first one I said was liquor. Well, now it lets you get more granular. That wine, or sorry, let's start with liquor. Liquor, the sizes you can adjust, that you can have a higher markup on a bigger bottle, but then lower that markup as it gets smaller. So having that custom granularity, that basically just will, on the purchase order receiving, will just make it go red if it dips below a certain margin for 375s. Like if you want to run at least 20% markup on that, and it dips below, it would flash red. But your other items could be at different markup percentages. That's not going to flash red. This one's probably going to happen at this quarter at some point, but we are upgrading the look and feel, the cosmetic feel of our back office reporting. So this will be kind of a major update. More information to come, but just let you know that we are working on the reporting and making things run smoother and just be able to look and feel more modern. This one didn't get its own emoji because we just added it, but the ability to exclude customers from participating in loyalty. So they may be a wholesale customer that you don't want them to earn loyalty points. We're trying to be able to turn that off so then they can't participate, and so that your employees don't mistakenly give them points off while they're also getting a special price on the wholesale side. So that's on our to-do. If there's something that we missed, or you would want added to this list, please reach out, because that's what we're here for. We're here to serve. But yeah, that's we'll hopefully in the August update we'll have more information on this, on more things that we've rolled out. Metrics this year, so we're into July, almost wrapping that up. We've staged $12 million worth of inventory, which for us, that's a big deal. We continue to want to grow and do that, but it's kind of a nice milestone to hit that. That said, across that 12 million that we've staged, it crossed $17,000 items. We've had 8,000 account logins. We've had 2,500 purchase now clicks, which averages about 80 per week. Our customers have spent about $12 million on our site. That includes the basket, the shopping cart, etc. And then last but not least is the barcode. Some of you have heard me talk about our barcode dictionary, which makes basically we're trying to store the SKU and the barcode, and building that out. We've got 13,000 items in our dictionary right now, and this is scannable UPCs in the state of Mississippi. You may have noticed that there's 17,000 up here. Why doesn't that match? Well, we've staged 17, but we don't actually track it until you sell it. When you scan that thing in, then it goes to our dictionary. So that's why it's a little less. Some other announcements from Liquor Bee is, I've teased this earlier, is Austin is on our team. If you haven't met him, we'll try to do some introductions, but he's going to be leading our support team. Just more bandwidth in case you can't get a hold of me or Will. He's our point guy, and we'll make sure that you are taken care of, and we're not forgetting about you. And he started about in May, and I think he's practically up to speed with how we're doing business, and he can certainly help you. So please leverage him if you can't get a hold of one of us. This is just kind of an announcement. Because we're doing a lot of updates and stuff, we have a test store that we run all of our stuff through. So we kind of battle test that for a couple of weeks, make sure we're not breaking anything like that 00 or whatever. And we certainly want to get you these new features and ship it to you quick, but we don't want to jeopardize the quality and end up breaking things. So, that said, there's another hop. So after we code it and, it's hot off the compiler, we're not just shoving it to you and say, hey, good luck. We're vetting it with another store. We're running it for a couple of weeks. We're in touch with their employees really well. Once it passes that store and things are working and we didn't break anything and our new features are working the way that we want them, then we'll roll them out. So, that said, that new update that we got that sped it up, this went through that process, and we got no complaints and everything was running smooth. So we are going to roll that out to you and be reaching out to you here soon. Last on the agenda is just helpful tips that we've learned in the industry, and I don't, we'll try to continue to give you some tips as we learn them. But right now, this may be wholesale heavy, but I'll still run them through. And it's just nice to know, even if you don't do wholesale, this first one on your store name. And if you want this, I can do it. But on your store name in the back office, in the back office, you go to setup. You can edit your store name and parenthetically put your permit number. And why would you do that? Well, if you're transporting alcohol and you print the receipt and you got it, and somebody, it shows that you have the permit to distribute alcohol. But also, it's just good practice that we found, just having your permit number on it. That said, to also do that with your customer numbers. So I'm going to go through 1 and 2 right here. For your customers that do wholesale that are tax exempt, if you prefix with W, parentheses W, and then their name, that's just from you can quickly look to see which ones are tax exempt, and you should also end with a parentheses permit number. So then you just have that on the receipts every time. And then it's cosmetically easy to just know, oh, they're just a normal customer, versus one that I have to file with the state. They're the bottle sold to keep up with the sales tax. That said, if they're not a wholesale customer, if you just do regular C, this may or may not be necessary. You can just leave it and just assume that everybody else is non-customer, but you can do parentheses C, then their name, and then permit number if you're not selling it at wholesale, but they are, if they do have a permit number, you can put it in there. So I guess that's all I had for July. I don't normally get in front of a video, so this was rough to listen to. Hopefully these just get better as I do them. And if I don't talk to you from now until the next video, have a good rest of your July. Try to stay cool, and we'll talk again.